Probably the biggest stress I have is this need to come up with something new every season.
Everything I design is somewhat organic, I believe, because I do sketch in the beginning to get a feel of the mood of the collection, but we don't always know what the techniques will be until it's actually created on toile.
There's always a cinematic quality to our work. It always tells a story. It's completely narrative.
I'm a modernist, so I always think of the future. And I store so much visual information constantly, and it always reemerges on the paper. I love playing with textures. For this season, I use a lot of silk jacquards and crepe de chine digital prints, hand knit merino wool.
In terms of fabric, we're going to see this collection. We were really inspired by classical English fabrics, tailoring fabrics, menswear fabrics. For us, the juxtaposition of menswear and womenswear, feminine and masculine, is always an important part of our work. So that's kind of what a starting point was for us.
The tailoring is really tight. It's a very tight silhouette. Our ruffles will appear in the blouses and coming out of collars.
The materials are often the starting point for the collection, or at least really kind of helps the ideas that are sort of loose up until then. All of the prints this season are reactive, and they're done with a bleach medium, which subtracts dye and in some cases even fiber from the fabric itself. And then it becomes impossible to control exactly, so you get these variations and inconsistencies in the material that gives an overall, I don't know, interesting tactile quality.
Well, I do a lot of my own design, so all the prints are pretty much exclusive. I try to play with volume, so everything's quite fluid. It sort of floats against the body, at the same time it's very close to the body.
I think style is forever, it stays, it's a silhouette, it's a look, and fashion moves. So I think that's how it's made, it's the speed, and then there's a steady cruise, you know, which is style.
I compliment women. I really get into their brain and feel their anxieties and neuroses and kind of help them feel beautiful.
I constantly have a lot of ideas in my head, and even when I design a collection, I find that what I have in my head and what comes out in reality is only maybe a quarter of what I imagine. So quite often, one collection could be actually 4 collections.
I think through a kind of evolutionary organic design process, things emerge that are my own, and you know, I think that's how it's done.